Hi trader, this video explores the criteria needed to make the choice between full-time or part-time trading and perhaps the transition from part-time to full-time. First of all, be aware that this video has a risk disclaimer. Please pause the video to read the entire disclaimer. And let's take a look at some of the advantages of trading part-time first of all. Well, some things you might want to consider as advantages, like no pressure to trade. If you do not find a setup necessarily that day, this hour, nothing bad happens. You can just pleasantly wait for the setups to come to you. And that's, of course, a psychological advantage when you have that kind of opportunity just to wait out consolidations and sideways movements. Also, you can rely most likely on other income sources. So you're not needy of particular income goals for that week, for that day, or month. And therefore, with the consequence that there's not going to be any urge to overtrade, revenge trade. So the emotional attachment to trading is not going to be as severe when trading part-time. So there are a lot of good advantages for trading, at a low-key kind of level here. Also, just in general, the fact that there's less risk involved. Now, many traders, of course, will like to trade full-time. They would like to because they'll be more engaged. They really like trading, and they can fully focus on what they like. And that makes a lot of sense, of course. But there are some things to consider when making that step, because it is a big step in a way, because there's that risk of losing the income and having to make that through trading, which puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders. So things to think about. And of course, this is not the only thing. There are a lot of other things, and this is just one list. So you want to think about other sources as well. But how long have you really traded part-time? Okay, and then if you have mentioned anything like a few weeks, it's definitely too short. You want to, of course, gain experience part-time first of all. See if something for you. Maybe after a few months you decide that it's not really something that interesting, and that can happen. You don't want to make conclusions too quickly. So, and this can vary from trader to trader, but on average, I would say many would recommend that you have at least traded a few years. You want to think about what is your edge clearly and objectively, put it on paper. What is your trading plan? You want to have all that documented. You want to have that all clear, and you want to see, of course, those results on paper. What does the track record say to you? How consistent have your results been? This is something you want to definitely consider. If you see too many ups and downs, then you want to work on your edge maybe a bit better. What kind of savings do you have? Can you, if you have a bad month, still pay the bills? That's what you definitely want to make sure that you can do, so that you're not living from a month-to-month basis, because that just brings too much stress to the trading. Other things that you want to think about: how much of your savings are you putting into trading? If you have savings and you're putting 90% into trading, just have a bit left to cover a few bills 1 month, then obviously that's in a scenario where you're putting way too much risk when making that decision. Can you handle risk management? Are you disciplined to do that? That's something that you honestly have to ask yourself, but you can ask others as well what they think, how they see you. Do you honestly really love trading? Because if you're doing it full-time, that is something very important. If you like trading, it could be better just to stick with part-time trading. How much return do you need to be able to be break-even, right? Because rally or tally all your costs, count them up, and see how much money you would need compared to your capital per month to make break even. And that's a level that you want to consider. Is that realistic when looking at your trading plan? And you want to discuss this with others, the others that are close to you. See if they support your plan, if they see that it makes sense, and you want to discuss it openly and honestly with them as well. So those are just some things to consider. We talk about a lot of topics in the webinars with Admiral Markets, so take a look, admiralmarkets.com, click on Education right here, and you can see all different types of webinars on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. See you soon. Wish you good trading. Cheers.